I'm going to tell you about the day that I realised I was never chasing success. I was just running from myself. Because for a long time, I genuinely believed that I was an ambitious person. If you asked me what I wanted from life, I'd have given you all the answers that people admire. I want to build businesses, get into incredible shape, make money, travel the world and become respected and prove to everybody, including myself, that I'd turn my life round. And on the surface, those answers sound like healthy goals. The problem was never the goals. The problem was the man chasing them. Because every morning I woke up and convinced myself that the next achievement would finally quiet that voice inside my head that kept on whispering, "You're still not enough." I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I would have told you that I was hungry though, driven, obsessed. And looking back, I wasn't even obsessed with building a great life. I was obsessed with escaping the one that I was living and proving that I was good enough. That's why addiction made so much sense to me. People often ask me what the drugs felt like, and the honest answer is that for a little while they gave me permission to stop being me. They switched off that constant pressure, the self-criticism, that voice in the background saying that I wasn't good enough, that I needed to become somebody else before I deserved to be happy. And when I got clean, I expected everything to change. But it didn't. The drugs disappeared, but the man who needed them was still standing there. And that was the most frightening moment of my life, because suddenly I realised that I'd spent years fighting the symptom while completely ignoring the cause. The cause wasn't addiction. The cause was the relationship that I'd built with myself. I still believe my worth had to be earned. I still believe that I had to achieve my way into feeling like I was enough. I still believe that people looked closely enough, they realised that I wasn't the man that I was pretending to be. Nobody saw those thoughts. All they saw was somebody training hard, posting on Instagram, taking trips. But realistically, I was trying to rebuild, but inside I was exhausted. I couldn't understand why I was doing everything that successful people told me to do, yet I still couldn't enjoy my own life. And that question led me somewhere that I never expected. It led me into therapy, where I started unpacking the stories that I've been carrying around with me since I was a kid. It led me to getting into meditation, where I realised I'd forgotten what sounded like to be sitting in silence. That journey led me to subconscious reprogramming and hypnosis, because I finally accepted that my conscious goals and my subconscious beliefs were pulling in completely different directions. And it led me to one-on-one coaching, because I realised I reached a point where I understood that my life needed changing forever, because you cannot see your own blind spots, no matter how intelligent you are. No matter how self-aware that you believe you are, you cannot read the label whilst you're inside of the bottle. And then something happened that completely changed the direction of my life. Not overnight, not in one dramatic breakthrough, but quietly and subtly. Every morning I started writing down things that I was grateful for, and at first it felt ridiculous. My life wasn't where I wanted to be. I still had problems, I still had debt, I was still scared of looking in the mirror, scared of being my true authentic self, and I still had days where getting out of bed felt heavy. But something strange started happening. The more I looked for what was already good, the less power my mind had me to convince me that my entire life was broken. Because for years I trained my brain to notice everything that was missing. Gratitude trained it to notice everything that was already there, that was worth having. That changed the way I looked at my body. It changed the way I looked at my past and my future. It changed the way I looked at failure. It changed the way I looked at myself, and eventually it changed the decisions that I made. And looking back now, I don't even believe my life changed because I became more disciplined. My life changed because I stopped believing that I was a problem that needed fixing. I started believing that I was a man that was worth investing into. There's a huge difference, because when you believe you're broken, every habit feels like a punishment. Every investment actually seems like a cost. But when you believe you're worth saving, every habit starts to become an act of self-love and self-respect. That's why going to the gym stopped feeling like something I had to force myself to do, and it's something I started to enjoy. That's why eating well stopped feeling like restriction. That's why building businesses stopped being about proving people wrong. It became an expression of gratitude for the second chance that I've been given to live this life. That's the message that I wish somebody had told me years ago. You don't need another productivity hack. You definitely don't need another morning routine, and you don't even need another motivational quote. You need to stop trying to build a life, a beautiful future, whilst carrying an identity that doesn't believe you deserve one. So if you're listening to this and you recognise yourself in my story, don't leave this as another video that made sense for 10 minutes before life pulled you back into the same old patterns. Click the link in the description and book your breakthrough call, and together we can uncover the beliefs that have quietly been shaping your decisions for years. And if it's the right fit, I'll show you exactly how we rebuild your life over the next 90 days, because here's what I've learned after everything. Getting clean wasn't the miracle. Paying off all my debt wasn't the miracle. Building businesses definitely wasn't a miracle. The miracle was waking up one morning and realising I no longer needed to escape my own life. That's the feeling that I want for you, not the bigger bank account, not the better body. Those things matter and they're great as well, and they often come as a result, but they are definitely not the destination that they're painted out to be. The destination is waking up excited to be yourself and live your life. That's why I say without hesitation, gratitude is the gateway to growth. Because the day you stop seeing your life as something you need to escape is the day that you will finally become free. So I'll see you in the next video, but don't bother clicking on